Hi, good evening. Welcome to imToken office. And thank you so much to come to imToken office in such weather. You know, recently it's a raining season. Luckily today there's no rain. And we still have some very comfortable seats on the first row. Feel free to join us here. So tonight we are actually talking about Web3 security. Particularly, we are talking something about like a decentralized kind of solution. So we have 3 speakers here. So maybe like before we start, let me just ask you some questions. So you see imToken. So yeah, first thing first. So if you want to get like, for example, presentation materials and etc., feel free to scan the QR code to join the Telegram group. So we will post the photos, videos, and also the event content later in the Telegram group. Yeah, I just leave this group a little bit for like 1 more second. And also for the people online, just let everybody know we also have a YouTube live streaming currently. So for people online, you can also scan the QR code here. Okay, so this is imToken office. Again, you know, I'm actually from marketing. So marketing always doing this kind of promotional kind of job. So if you don't know imToken, we will not like spend tons of time because it's a community meetup. We will not sell the product. It's more like you can just download imToken from the QR code here. Yeah. Without further ado, so let me introduce the first speaker, Wilson. Wilson actually is our lead, product designer from imToken. So we have 3 speakers lined up today. So we will have all the different speakers to introduce different topics. And then later we will also have a panel discussion, and we also will open a Q&A for everybody. Just to let everybody know, so if you have interest to ask a question, we also prepared. I think you saw our the poster from Twitter already. We have so-called C-free box. I don't know how many of you are using this one. So if you know using the decentralized wallet, you know there's C-phrase, right? So the different words. So basically this is a metal kind of the plate for you to safely just keep your C-phrase so that no matter what happened, actually it's always here. So this is for the the people who ask a question, and depending on the speaker, then they can give you this kind of prize. Just a little bit kind of the heads up to you. Yeah. So Wilson will bring the make security tangible this topic to everybody. So let's welcome Wilson.
Do I need to hold both of it?
Yeah, both.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Wilson. Really glad to be here and have this sharing. May I ask a question first? Any one of here is working in this crypto industry? Can I raise up your hands? So as a product manager or designer or like engineer, anyone? No? Or more users? Oh, okay. Thanks. Okay, great. I think like now is kind of a bull market. Maybe some millionaire like sitting somewhere and then earn a lot of money recently. Maybe I don't know, but it should be an exciting thing. So just introduce myself. My name is Wilson, and then I worked as a designer for last 10 years with a design agency background. Actually, before imToken, I was working in GrabPay and financial. So mostly I'm focusing on e-wallet and payment products design. So now I'm joining crypto industry, Web3, really excited to learn more as a student. I think it's always got some connection between crypto world and financial. So really exciting to see the market is growing very fast. Now, like we have like, the whole market, 420 million crypto users there. And then I cannot imagine it happens like this 10 years ago when I hear Bitcoin, this word at the first time. I don't even know what it is. And then I only hear some scary news about like someone like use 1,000 like Bitcoin buy a pizza recently, but I don't even know how much value it worth at that time. And then 84 million active crypto wallets in use. Can you imagine? That is like a crazy number. And then like it's growing, and then even got more opportunities over there in the next 7 years. But this is from U.S. crypto market, and maybe going to have another 23% growth. And even for DeFi users growing, is growing even faster. So in the I like already surpassing 6 million marks in 2023. That's crazy. But actually for crypto wallet adoption, this is only 1.2%. Okay, that means a lot of opportunity over there. At the same time, it means like not like the mass market is not here. But at the same time, maybe you guys are the talents belongs to the 1.2%, and then you know what will happen in future. So that's why you join this sharing. And then maybe you are wearing like hundreds or thousands crypto wallet, DEX platform, like centralized platform over there, hardware wallet and software wallet. And sometimes the mass market, the users don't even know which is which, and then which one they should start with. So when the market is growing, and then the fears comes. So this is the topic of today's security issues. So the fears comes because of scams, the phishing, and people lost of their funds. And then everyone here maybe know like what happened in last 2 years, like happened for Luna. And then 10 million users affected, and $100 billion like direct impact. So that is a huge number. So for the mass market users, when they hear this kind of news, what they are thinking about, like it's not like 2 years ago when they hear like someone earned like a 400% for their investment, then now they might check out. So crypto wallet is the interface for the users enter crypto world. So where they learn, they view and manage their assets. But now they are hesitant. They don't know if they should start or not. So what is blocking them and stopping them? Is it because the knowledge gap? Is it because the security issue? Maybe. Yeah, that is some of the most important reasons. So why is security such critical concerns for Web3? And then why it's not for banking system, or why it's not for like when you are using like Facebook or Instagram or social media? Why? So the huge knowledge gap is there, because people are afraid of to use the products or the services they are not familiar with. So they never like heard about like gas fee. What is gas fee? I'm now driving a car and then I'm using a crypto wallet. What is gas fee? And then why the so-called private key is so long and hard to recognize? And then why I have to remember the 12 or 24 English words, and then like that is all my assets? That is the ownership of the assets. So a lot of questions come to like the normal user's mind. And then can you imagine just like, imagine if you are the first one receive a scam call like in human history, and then you might not even know what that means, like someone telling you a story about some kid got cancer and needs your help. So, but now you know, because there's no knowledge gap anymore. So for all these security concerns, and then the tragedy happened for some users or their friends, they transferred to a wrong person, or they forgot their like seed phrases, and then they thought they can get it back. They call like service center, but no, this is a decentralized world. So it's a totally different world. So it's a lot of knowledge gap over there. So the root causes of security issues might be like multiple factors, like technical flaws, or like a regulation or ecosystem is not ready yet. But as a user experience designer, today I want to talk about more human factors. So human factor is like we should think starts from user mindset, and then to know what is the knowledge gap and what are their behaviors. Like some users might talk about like, this address really looks the same as my own. I just want to transfer to my own crypto wallet. How come like I transfer to a unknown wallet? It was a scam. And there is even a transaction history over there and show like I received a 0 token from this address. So I thought that is just my address. So that is how the scam happened for the users, and then when they don't know and hard to recognize the address. And then when they see the UI looks professional, beautiful, and the content looks professional, and even some experts might not even be able to recognize if it's fake or a real one. There's an interesting story, like someday in my office, my teammate shared a website with me, like, hey, Wilson, you can check this website. It looks really nice. We should like thinking about doing this kind of animation in our website. And then I go there to check, and it's a fake website. So it comes from experts, but cannot even recognize it's a fake one. So it happens. So the fake app now, someone might download a fake app to do transfer. So that's why it's really hard to know when these kind of scams or fake apps comes to you. So talking about user experience, so when we are talking about security in user experience, what that mean? So what does that mean, user experience? So maybe you can have a roughly understanding when you are using Instagram or Facebook, those kind of social media apps. But when we are talking about crypto wallet and security in user experience, what does that mean? And how to let the customer feel secure? So actually security, it's not just a matter of technical. Like maybe you have very advanced technology, but with the big knowledge gap, the customer might not be able to understand it. And it's not about like just making decisions for the customer, like I try to recognize all the like scam website and then only give you the trustworthy one, and then you might don't have enough choice, but it's safe. But it's not what the customer looking for. So the first batch of the users coming to this Web3 industry is they know what's happening, and they might be able to recognize the scam website. So we cannot decide for the customers, but we can provide more information. And then it's not about like we keep telling them we are safe. This is very safe. This is good. Just use imToken, and then you won't lose money. Nobody gonna believe it, because what they care about is all the like information, relative information happening in different scenario and in the process. So safe doesn't mean feel secure. So feel secure is what we try to achieve, and then to help the customer make the right decision in their when they are using our products. So talking about user experience, that is very easy to understand. User experience is just all the overall feeling or all the aspects of the end users when they are interacting with a system, a company, or a service. Service maybe is just a products. So what we need to take care of is not only features. We need to build a journey, because features is not what the user goes. What they are trying to do is accomplish their life goal and their primary task. So we need to start from user persona and to understand what's the user's mindset and understand their primary task and secondary task and dive into like details to strike a balance between security and usability. So for example, like I have like workmates and showed me products like, hey, Wilson, you know, this is really awesome. You just scan your face and you can create a wallet immediately. You can use it directly. But for customers, not always expect faster. So they need to know what it is and what they are creating. It's not only about like a scan my face and I have a wallet and then I can like top up and or like move my cash into the wallet and get tokens and start to transfer or do investment. It's not that easy topic because they need a process to understand what it is, what kind of value you are offering, and then what I can get. And then as a new user, like how should I learn faster to be an expert? So that's why we need to take care of is the whole journey, not feature. Starts from why I need to use a crypto wallet, why I need to use, for example, imToken or Belsin, why? So all those whys comes from the user mindset, and we need to answer those questions in the onboarding experience across the whole account creation and transfer and trade and account management. So we need to dive into different scenario. For example, like when we are talking about onboarding, what we are trying to do, is it only sign up and have an account, have a password, and then that means you have like onboarding finished for the customers? No, actually, it's not. So it's a journey as well. So we are welcoming the customer with providing the values, and we are letting them to create an account with the basis of understanding of our product and letting them to explore the app at the same time provide enough information for them to learn and grow. So they have a lot of questions over there, and then we cannot just like let them create an account and put the products over there and don't know how to use it for the next 2 months. So sense of security comes from a lot of aspects. So enough relative information, timely guidance, and clear and clean and simplistic UI. So just see this example like on the left side. You know what is that? This is the first crypto wallet in the world. And can you imagine if you are the user of these products, and then do you want to put your money in? And then do you want to do the first transfer over there? You might just thinking this is a scam website. But we have like a different user persona for every product. So for some experts, they might be very excited to see this website, and then they know it can be done like online already. So then talking about the right side, you can see this is just like some like exploration. So maybe like it looks cleaner and then looks have more visuals over there. And at the first glance, maybe you start to thinking about like, okay, this is what I'm familiar with. Maybe I can like explore more to know how it works. But for some users from mass market, maybe the first time when they see the left side, the website, maybe they already left. Yeah. The second thing is avoid mistakes for customers. So to know the typical user mistakes and how they solve the problems in the real life where user research, that is really important, because what we're trying to do is build a solution in the products and the services, and then based on the user's behavior. For example, like when people are doing transfer, someone like transfer to a wrong guy. So what's the reason for that? So copy a wrong address, Why? Because it's really hard to recognize with all these digits over there. And then you don't know which is which is Alice, which is Bob. And then you cannot even like recognize it's your own, or someone send you a fake one looks similar. And it's really hard to remember what is the purpose of this address. You might have 10 wallets, some for daily transfer, some for like investment, some for DeFi. So how to recognize this at a glance? So that's gonna be a problem. So, but the users have their like solutions in their real life, and when they are using like Web 2.0 products, having a similar solution, what they are familiar with. So we need to recognize those addresses, which are new address for them, which are like the address they already transferred to, which are the safe one, which one is the risky one. So all these help them to build like a smart like a contract list, and then they can just tap to go and choose the address they are familiar with and they trustworthy. And then they can choose their own address as well. At the same time, when they know this is a new or like a risky address, so we need to use some visualized or tangible marks for them to know, like, okay, I shouldn't do this transfer. I need to reconsider it. I need to double check. Then the third thing is we need to provide correct and relative information in the process. And this is the basis of making right decisions for our customers, because the process, if it's transparent and then it's clear and then they know what's happening here and then they know what looks not right, and then that's the basis for them to making a decision if they want to moving forward to complete the services. When they are using crypto wallet, they might interact with a lot of different kind of dApps, like different projects or different wallets. They might need to even connect with them or authorize their wallet access to those platforms. So, but at that moment, what the customer care about is, so under this behavior or under this activity, what kind of information I'm offering and what kind of activity or transaction I'm doing, and then how it works, and then what it's gonna be. So we need to like filter and verify the service provider first. That is the most important thing at the very beginning. We cannot allow the customer going into a fake website or dApps and then start to do the next step. So a filter at the very beginning and provide detailed and specific information for the transaction or the authorization. For example, like provide a facial icon over there, and with the mark, if it's a facial website or it's a trustworthy dApps, with the detail of the fee, and they know what will happen. And for the authorization, we should let the customer to control what kind of content they can share. It's not like just a tap to go and already build a connection, and then a few months later, they cannot even remember they've already authorized this crypto wallet to that website. So that's how the scam or the phishing happens when you are not aware of what you are sharing. I'm talking about the information and who you are authorized your wallet access to. Next one is talking about like detect risk. Actually, I just mentioned that when we were talking about like wallet connections. So for risk detection, what we are trying to do is make it tangible and with visual information, talking about build different level of the UI for different kind of risk. So for some user behavior or for some transactions or for some like a wallet activity, maybe it's just what the customer did it by themselves. They just changed their authorization. It's not like a problem or security issue. So what we need to do is just give them a reminder and then let them know and moving forward to complete the transaction or continue the journey. For some security issue, it might be like really a serious problem, and then we need to stop them over there because we are sure this is like a scam or this is the fake website or dApps over there waiting for the customer to jump into the trap. So we need to give them enough information and at the same time block the transaction moving forward. So I think later, Mr. Jack gonna share more, or Tommy gonna share more how to provide the verification for the fake website and the fake app. So I don't deep into deeper at this moment. So when we are talking about authorization, actually it happens a lot of times for a normal customer, like they just have one tap to go and give the authorization, and then they are not aware of what they're sharing with, and then they don't know when they did that activity. So manage the connections is important for them to know which one is safe, which one looks abnormal, and they can just disconnect immediately. What we are talking about all these is for the mass market who don't have enough user experience over there. But actually for some experts or for the user who have a lot of crypto assets, they might have a different user needs. They might not even use network when they're managing their assets, when they are interacting with the crypto wallet. So it doesn't mean no network, and it doesn't mean that they cannot do the connection with other service provider or platform. So we need to strike a balance between security and connectivity. So like the hardware wallet users and cold wallet users requires more or higher security for their connections. That's why in October of this year, we try to do this kind of functionality for our high-value customers. This is based on EIP 4527 protocol. Basically, it's the customer who are using hardware wallet and cold wallet can connect with imToken immediately. So they just scan the hardware wallets or cold wallets QR code, and then they can build a connection with imToken. So that means they're gonna have an interface with internet over there, but not managing their private key. So the security is still maintaining in their hardware wallet and cold wallet, but they can do all the connections and to see the interface and manage their assets over here, and not losing any security over there. So this is Keystone and imToken released this functionality almost at the same time. And as the first partner we worked with, and the user can just one tap to go or scan one time and then to have the connection over there with advanced security. At the same time, we work together with AirGap as well, and more hardware wallet and cold wallet is coming on the way. Actually, imToken can be a cold wallet. I'm not sure if guys here know this or tried this feature before. So imToken is a crypto wallet can use as a hot software wallet, and can be used as a cold wallet, similar to a hardware wallet. Basically, you can just disconnect the network, and then you can continue to use imToken to show the QR code, connect with Rabby and MetaMask, and even another imToken wallet. So for a lot of our customers, they have multiple devices to manage their assets. Yeah, one of them maybe use it as a cold wallet. One of them use it as a wallet connect with the network. So that's how we are taking care about not only mass market users and the advanced or experienced users or even experts. So that's how we see it, like provide services for different user persona to build the journey. And then we are trying to build the world is like having less security issues, and then the customers can enjoy the benefits of a crypto wallet, the decentralized world, and then hope one day it's gonna integrate it into all the daily scenarios and for people's life. And then let's looking forward the future coming to crypto world. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, any question?
Any question from the room?
Or we have a Q&A later. Yeah, please.
Where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
Actually, that's a good question because I mentioned like I was working in a e-wallet and financial related realm. For now, I'm still like a newbie for this crypto world. And then I'm still like learning, and then still a lot of new things and new knowledge coming to me. And then I feel like still very excited to be part of this. So maybe it's because like I'm not the kind of expert. I cannot like stand on the very high level to see like how and what will happen in next 10 years. But I can see the potential opportunities in this industry. So I still want to learn more. So I think like next 5 years, yeah, maybe I still like product designer for crypto wallets. Yeah. Thank you.
So you just mentioned that there are so many crypto users, that there are like a few people are using crypto wallets. But don't you think, or why do you think that crypto wallets is a good business? Because it doesn't seem so profitable compared to other, like other decentralized, DeFi or other now like L2 or chains. So how do you think?
Yeah.
Like compared to the profitability or the business development?
Yeah, I think like it's still not a mature realm or industry talking about crypto wallet. But the important thing is decentralized. That's how blockchain starts with. And then maybe for the mass market users, they just want to try to buy a token or earn some money over there, and then they don't want to learn, or they don't want to continuing to become an experienced or advanced user, or even become part of the business. So that's okay for them to like try it out, and then until crypto world already like dive into people's daily life. For example, like you can spend your crypto in a supermarket or buying something online. And then I think for different kind of user group have a different perspectives. So they can get different value from different products. Some maybe just like stick into like a centralized platform because they feel like it's easier, and maybe they feel like it's safe. And then they don't need to learn so many things to start the journey. But for some experts, they might be just not only a user, they are part of the business. They are building this industry together. So that's why decentralized platform and crypto wallet is important for them, because opportunities over there. And then decentralized is the base of blockchain world. Yeah, thank you. Okay, yeah.
You want to
Yeah.
select
I think if you have more questions, we can talk it in the panel session.
You have gift for your people who are asking questions.
How many I can have? Maybe we go both of them, or
I have two.
yeah. Okay. Okay. This is the key. Yeah.
Thank you, Wilson.
Thank you.
Yeah. For the next, maybe again. So how many people know Safeheron? In the room? Anybody know Safeheron? No? No, you can. Oh, there's one guest. No, so you can also scan the code to know Safeheron. So actually, then I think this is also a good opportunity since a lot of people don't know you. Maybe that Jack, our next speaker, actually you can see from the big screen here, then can just maybe introduce your project a little bit and also bring our audience here to know more topic about the safety and security. Okay, let's welcome Jack.
Okay, thank you very much for having me. Hi, good morning. Good evening, everyone. Sorry, must be the weather, and I'm very hungry right now. Yeah, thank you very much for having me. My name is Jack, and I'm the head of business development of Safeheron. So basically, we are a self-custody solution aimed at institutions, right? So what we do is that we help our enterprise clients to enhance security of their assets management, as well as to strengthen governance. Right, so today, this year, has been a very crazy start of the year, right? Actually, if you consider end of 2023, right, itself has been a year of many hacks. Same goes back to 2022. In fact, the end of last year, we had the very last day of the year, we had a very big $81 million worth of assets that was lost in the exploit of the Orbit breach. Right, just yesterday, there was this breach aggregator called Bungie that was hacked to the tune of 3.3 million. Right, so that's just brings back to one very important point, that security is so important in the digital asset space, and that's something that we cannot emphasize enough. All right, so before I go into talk about institutional security, right, the perspective from enterprise, right, because just now, imToken spoke about the retail side, right? Just to share a little bit more about our background and history. So we were established back in 2019. So we used to be a lending platform, and we were very successful back then. So one thing was that we were managing is like in excess of $1 billion worth of assets on our lending platform. And back then we knew that, with the amount of assets that we were holding, which comes from our user, so security is one thing that we had to place, it's of paramount importance to us. So back then we put in place this technology called MPC, which is something that I will share a bit more later. All right, and then in 2021 we pivoted to focus on institutional grade self-custody solution for enterprises, and that was largely in part due to the government regulation where we used to be based, whereby they cracked down on crypto. So we had to focus on security side instead of the lending side of the business. Right? So we beta launched about 1.5 years, slightly less than 1.5 years before, and some stats, right? We have since onboarded. Right, last year was a very good year for us. We have onboarded about almost 70 institutional clients, and that we have securely transferred more than $40 billion worth of assets across 180,000 MPC wallets that was being created, and we are proud to say that we never ever had a single case of asset compromise or account that was being leaked. Right, so that's something that we intend to maintain through our constant efforts towards security innovations. So we are a distributed team. We have members that are in Singapore. That's where our HQ is, in China, and we just opened up an office in Hong Kong under Cyberport. All right, and security, transparency, as well as compliance are areas that we focus a lot on, and we do this through third-party audits, right, open sourcing of our codes, which I'll share a bit more later, as well as adherence to industry standards such as ISO 27001 and SOC 2. I'll share a little bit more about this later. Okay, so this is a snapshot of the clients that we serve, right, just to give a background to who we work for, right? Of course, our mission is always to safeguard assets for our enterprise clients. So our clients come from virtually every sector of Web3, from consulting firm like BCG, we work with them on an RWA project in Hong Kong, to asset managers, to payments. We have licensed payment companies in Singapore, licensed by MAS, where we had to safeguard their assets, to even Web3 infrastructure. So we work with MetaMask, for example. Okay, so why is security so important? Let's look at some stats, right? And I just now mentioned, right, on the very last day of 2023, we had a hack, $81 million worth of assets that were lost on the last day alone, right? And if you consider that, there were multiple ways that assets were lost in 2023. There was attacks that was due to re-entrancy attacks, flash loan attacks, signature exploits, just to name a few. But by far, right, the biggest, largest attack vector, would be compromise of the private key, right? So if you consider the top 10 exploits last year, 7 out of 10 of this was due to the private key leakage, right? So there were about 1.8 billion worth of assets that was lost due to private key leakage, and of this, $800 million worth was due to that reason. So why is private key, such a big issue in this space? Right. One of the principal reasons is the single point of failure, in relation to private key management, because traditionally, a lot of institutions, the way they manage assets is that, it's a single user managing a single private key that's stored on a single device. It could be on a server, right, or it could be on a hardware wallet. So if you're talking about for institutions, right, especially if you come from TradFi background, you would know that a lot of important financial decisions on transactions cannot happen, right, by a single user, unilaterally making decisions, right, because things like compromise, of that user, or internal fraud, or human error can happen. In fact, users are often the weakest link of the chain, right? So in security, we have this saying called, you're only as strong as your weakest link. Users are usually the part in the whole chain, right, that often falls to compromises, especially, with the rise of phishing and social engineering attacks. We always hear about this in the news. And in the crypto space, right, in the digital asset space, that's no exception. Right, I just need to point to the Ronin Bridge incident. Anybody heard of the Ronin Bridge hack? Anyone? So the Ronin Bridge hack happened in 2022, right? It's the largest incident of asset exploit, in terms of the value that was lost. So there was almost $500 million worth of assets that was lost in the incident. And how did that happen? Because one single validator admin, so validator admins, a person that holds a key, right, that's authorized to make transactions, so he's one of the signing party. So it happens that one of the user was holding on to 4 of, I think, 7 validated keys, and he was compromised, and he was holding on to 4 of the 7 keys. Right, so that's very bad governance. So how do we mitigate the threat of private key compromise? Right, so one core technology comes in, and that's multi-party computation, or MPC in short. So MPC, it's actually a subfield of cryptography, whereby it allows for multiple parties to compute an output, using the individual private inputs of each parties, without these individual inputs being revealed to any third parties. Right, so from a security perspective, right, instead of a single private key held by the user, so what we do is that we have the MPC cryptography being utilized. You can think about it as we break up the private key into parts, and having the encrypted version of the key share, the parts of the private key, or what we call the key shards, distributed to multiple parties, right? So we use that to address the single point of failure. And one of the characteristics of MPC is that we could do distributed signing without the individual, key shards data being revealed to any external parties, or even within the parties that are taking part in the signing. Right? So that's important because if any of the party gets compromised by an attacker, the attacker wouldn't know the key shards data held by the other party, right? And through the MPC process, whether it's the distributed key generation process, to the signing process, to the key verification, to key storage, the private key, it's never ever visible in any devices. So that's important, because you want that private key to be able to be used for signing, but not visible. All right, but it doesn't end there, right? MPC is just one part of the security infrastructure. So as with any security design, right? I used to be from a physical security space, so we have this concept called defense in depth, right, or multi-layer security. So you can think about it like an onion. So you peel one layer of the onion, you have another layer of onion. So even if one layer gets compromised, right, it doesn't mean the entire systems break down, right? We need to have multiple layers of security, so that even if one layer is being exploited by the attacker, right, the attacker will still need, to get past all the different layers. The concept behind this is to increase, the level of effort needed for the attacker to reach your assets, and if the effort is more than what it's worth, all right, that becomes a deterrence for the attacker. So this is the concept also of economic security. Right, so decentralized key shard management is one layer, which what I spoke about using MPC. Right, we distribute the key to different key shards to different parties, have it encrypted, so that no single user's compromise could lead to the loss of the entire assets. Right, on top of that, we use hardware isolation layer, mainly utilizing Intel Jack chip to create a secure enclave. All right, so the secure enclave it's where we keep all the sensitive materials. So for example, the key shards data and other cryptographic materials, sensitive cryptographic materials like the API keys, the whitelisted addresses, right, are all stored within this area that is within a chip. It's a chip level protection. So the attacker would not only have to compromise the different key shards, but also to get past this trusted execution environment. And one also important part of the security infrastructure is that we have a flexible policy engines. Flexible policy engines is what we use to be able to design different approval workflows for different transaction scenarios. Right, so for example, maybe for a very small amount, right, maybe you only need to have, say, 2 out of 3 approvers, right, to, you hit the signing threshold, and then the signing can go through. Okay, but if, let's say, $1 million worth of Bitcoin, maybe you will need to have 3 levels of approval. So we have more people reviewing that process to ensure that it's always a check and balance, and also at the same time to, reduce that probability of human error and internal fraud. Okay, security, it's important, but for institutional side, operational flexibility, it's also critical, right? We want to make sure that the users have different avenues, different ways to manage their assets, right? So for us, we give different platforms for institutional clients to manage their assets. So from our app to a web console, so that you have different means to be able to initiate transactions and to sign transactions. We also support API, even a browser extension. All this is to ensure that whether you are a DeFi trader or whether you're an exchange or whether you are a payment company, that's always a relevant platform that allows you to easily do from simple transfer transactions, right, to automated transactions, which is what exchanges and a lot of centralized platforms would need, to even DeFi transfer, which is what our clients will typically use our browser extension for. So you see, for institutional requirements, usually their needs are a lot more complex, right? So the design that we have to put in place has to make sure that it can meet the client's operational requirements as well. All right, so flexibly extends to beyond just the platform that we provide. right? It also have to meet the different use case scenarios for different client type. So for example, right now we offer 4 different offerings, and by far most of our institutional clients would use our our one-stop SaaS vault management and asset management platform, right? They could use our app, our web console to manage their assets. Within 5 minutes they can get up and running, and they can do so in a very cost competitive, in a very speedy manner, all without compromising security. So they could use our SaaS. Most of our clients use our SaaS, especially if they want to control costs, right? But then we also have a different group of clients that would need to use what we call our wallets as a service, right? Where they could use it to create the centralized custody technology stack, especially for custodians who want to create their own centralized platform for their end users, or even seedless wallets for our clients that's targeting Web2 users. So just now, we were also speaking about, how do we onboard Web2 users to crypto, right? Because managing keys, managing seed phrases are concepts that are very foreign to most Web2 users. So one way is to create embedded wallets. You don't have to manage private keys. You don't have to, through the experience of managing crypto assets, right? They don't have to feel, they go through the need of managing seed phrases. So that's something that we help our clients to achieve through our wallets as a service. And then the last part is a service that we intending to launch this year. This would be very, very useful for clients like market makers and trading firms. So basically, this is what we call an off-exchange network, whereby we allow our institutional clients to interact with exchanges, to do transactions on exchanges, but in a manner that's self-custodial. So by that I mean they control the private key, all right, and they can do trades, right, and the ledgers on their self-custodial wallets mirrors that in the exchange, and that helps this group of clients to achieve mainly two objectives. Right? Is to access the liquidity of the exchanges without that exposure, of the private keys of the assets, to a third party, right? Because history has taught us that centralized platforms can fall, right? Especially in the space of the FTX blew up, and many other centralized platforms in 2022. Okay, so flexibility also extends to deployment options. Now, this is something that's important because we also serve clients that are licensed, clients that may want to have full control over their infrastructure, or they at least may want to have certain parts of the infrastructures controlled by them. All right, so through this experience, we realized that the importance of being able to offer different deployment methods for different client needs. So for example, earlier on we talked about our SaaS model. So it's a shared infrastructure model hosted on our platform. Great for users who want to get up and running quickly, cost competitively. So SaaS is a solution for them. But at the same time, we have larger financial institutions, clients, whereby maybe the key shards, right, which is hosted on the MPC nodes, right, would be something where they want to have full control on, right? So that's where the hybrid cloud, or even the full on-prem private deployment models would be most suitable. And then lastly, we also have an MPC node SDK that are useful for, say, GameFi clients or SocialFi clients that want to create their own embedded wallets. But instead of the single private key model, they could use the MPC SDK built on top of the stack to create a seedless model that has the private key that's distributed, and the experience it's of managing seed phrases, it's abstracted from the user experience. So it's very, very important for institutional clients. Flexibility of deployment methods, it's very, very, very critical. Okay, so I talk about institutional clients. For licensed companies especially, right, the area of AML, right, AML means anti-money laundering, and KYT, know your transactions, are very important, because funds that are incoming or outgoing for a licensed company, especially if you are being regulated by, as strict as a regulatory body like the Monetary Authority of Singapore. Right? You got to make sure that the funds that are coming in are clean. Right? It's not dirty money. Right? So that's where a KYT mechanism, an AML mechanism, that can help you to screen for all your transactions is important, right? So when we talk about screening on transactions, we're referring to screening them and be able to detect if the source of funds or the funds that you are transferring out to, are they being transferred to, or are they coming to from an address that's associated with money laundering or terrorist financing or even from like mixers. So these are sources that are very sensitive, and especially if you are a licensed provider, right? If you don't screen your transactions properly, you may get in trouble, with the authorities, right? So this helps to prevent a lot of unnecessary hassles. So on this end, we have, integrated, with a service called Mistrack by this company called Slomis, right? It's part of our value add to our institutional clients. But again, team, of management, we talk about management of our institutional assets. So we may have some clients that use Chainalysis, or they may use Elliptic. So these are the two market leaders in the area of AML and KYT. Right? So we have plans to integrate with both of them, and that we can have these clients who already have existing accounts with them to be able to screen the transactions that go through to our Safeheron institutional wallets. Okay, so I'm nearing to the end of my presentation. So this is one very, very important slide. Sorry. So in Web3, one of the core ethos is about transparency. So when we talk about transparency, right, mainly it's about trust. So we don't want to say, hey, trust me, bro, trust me just because I say I'm great, right? But we want to gain trust, through third-party audits, right? And we are audited by, a variety of external parties. We're just based on our backend application code and our MPC code, we are audited by 3 different parties alone, right? And later I'll talk about the other part. But we think that transparency of code, right, it's one of the most, Web3 and crypto-native way to gain trust, because we believe that the root of trust, is derived from code and cryptography. So anyone can go to our GitHub, right, to review, our open source MPC codes, right? For example, we open source our MPC ECDSA code covering different protocols like GG18, and the most recent version that we have upgraded our MPC protocols, which is MPC CMP, right? We open source these codes. Right? I would say in this bucket, most institutional providers are actually closed source, right? Closed source. So you just got to trust the MPC codes that are running, has no loopholes, right? So we want to be transparent. This year, we will open source the MPC code for ED25519 and BOS. Basically, these are the signing algorithm that are used by most blockchains. For example, Solana is using ED25519, NEAR is using ED25519. So that's, we think that's important to make sure that we get it transparent so that users can always audit and review us without seeking a permission. Okay, on top of that, earlier on I mentioned that one layer of our multi-defense architecture is the use of trusted execution environment, right, to secure our data, right? So we will also open source our TEE codes as well. I think we are probably one of the most transparent in the market, with that said. Okay, so why choose Safeheron, or any providers for that matter? So, I will offer you, 3 different areas to look at, when you, want to select a provider, all right? So the first thing would be, is that service provider, what kind of technology are they using to secure their assets, right? Do they have a good KYT, AML mechanism in place? Are they using multi-layer security infrastructure to ensure that's a comprehensive, robust security coverage, right? Are they having a very strong zero trust architecture, for example? So zero trust architecture, it's a security term that's based on the concept of don't trust, always verify, right? So, we have workflows like multi-factor authentications. What you see is what you sign. I won't go into the details of all of this, but all these are actually very important technical factors and security factors, when you do transactions of assets? And do they keep in line with industry best practices? So by that I mean, not just I say that, we're good, but the infra that we put in place is in line with certain industry standards, right? So the most well-known industry standards are ISO 27001, SOC 2 Type 1 and Type 2, right? So you want to make sure that whichever provider that you're using, conforms to the best-in-class security standards. And lastly, right, can they give you flexibility in terms of how you want to deploy your security infrastructure? Can you give you SaaS? Can you give you hybrid? Can you give you known SDK solutions, for example, to create seedless wallets for, especially if you are users that are targeting Web2 end users? So these are things to consider, when you are selecting, solutions, all right, based on your use case scenarios. Okay, so I come to the end of my presentations, right? We actually have a free trial for our clients who wants to try out our infrastructure, to secure the assets for their enterprise business. All right, so if anyone wants to try it out, we offer a free trial, no obligation at all, 14 days, right? You can get in touch with me either on WhatsApp, Telegram, or WeChat. Or if you just want to talk to me about security or talk about Web3 in general, feel free to get in touch. That's all for me today. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, thank you, Jack. Any question from room to Jack? Okay.
So what's the difference between how Safeheron implemented your MPC versus the other vendors?
That will require me one whole day to explain to you. It's good questions, right? In what we do, right, product differentiation, value differentiation is very important, right? We cannot be doing the exact same thing with every single provider, right? So there are many ways which we differentiate. First of all, right, we use a 3 out of 3 threshold signing scheme, whereby, so earlier on I talked about MPC, we split the private key into 3 parts, right? And that we held by 3 different parties, right? So for our architecture, one of the key shards held by the user, one is held by us, one is held by a trusted third party, right? And we require all 3 key shards, to take part in a distributed signing before that signing can be approved, right? So many of our competitors are using 2 out of 3, right? So any two key shards signed will go through, right? So 2 parts to this is that 3 out of 3, from a security, from a risk threshold point of view, of course, 3 out of 3 is high security because you need all 3 key shards to be compromised instead of all 2, right? And the other thing is that if 2 of the key shards are held by third party other than the user, then you can think about it, it's actually pseudo-centralized, right? You got to trust that your vendor, doesn't collude with the trusted third party, right? Because technically they can transfer your assets away without your permissions. So that's one thing that we differentiate. The other thing is that our compliance with regulatory, what a lot of our regulated companies will look at. So do we comply with ISO 27001? Do we comply with standard that's laid out by SOC 2 Type 1, Type 2 in terms of data security? So these are things whereby, it's third-party validations. Not all providers adhere or comply to these standards. As far as I know, very few within self-custody comply to these. If you're talking about qualified custodians, right, those are licensed, they hold your private keys, then yes. Right, but we are self-custody, so private key are held by our clients. So that's one way we differentiate. In fact, the whole process of adhering to international standards, right, is very painful. We have to be audited by Deloitte, right? Very, very high standards in terms of what they look at, in terms of our processes. There are many things that we have to change in order to ensure that what we're doing, it's in line with good corporate governance, good security. So that's one. And maybe just another last one, right? Maybe after this I could share more. I could give one example. So many of our exchanges or centralized platform clients like exchanges or digital payments, one very useful feature which I didn't talk about, it's the ability to do auto sweep, right? Auto sweep. So they will have, the end user will deposit, assets to users' hot deposit wallets, and after it reaches a certain value, right, it would need to be consolidated into a hot wallet for deposit, for withdrawal, or or to a cold wallet, for example. So many centralized custodians, right, would have this kind of model, operational models for asset transfer, right? So we have, automated asset sweep, right, and gas station where they could manage these transfers, in a manner that is, they use a UI to configure these settings without any need to do any additional programming. All right, so this, to our knowledge, is something that most of our competitors do not have. Right, so I don't want to go into, like, there are many other details, right, but these are just some of the examples that we do to differentiate. But I have to say again is that we have to differentiate or die. Right? We have to differentiate or die. And that's why last year, even though we have only, like, say, beta launch slightly less, 1.5 years ago, 2023 was, was an exceptional first full year for us, despite the bad conditions of the market. Any other questions?
Yeah, any other?
Yes, please.
So I come from a FSI, and then we have our own in-house KYT solution, and but we're not Web3, right? So the real world web KYT, it doesn't stop at the wallet address. I mean, your KYT is in relation to the wallet address, right? So how then can you support more traditional, more Web 2 or real world sort of KYT, and how your solution can sort of help?
Yeah. That's a good question. Yeah, I agree. Traditional KYT, it's a lot more comprehensive. You also need to know your customer, right? In fact, there are other providers like Samsung, for example, which we use, right? Which we use to KYC our clients. When we onboard our clients, we use Samsung to validate their identity, right? To validate their identity, make sure that they're a real person based on the facial profile that they provide to us, and according to some documentation they would need to furnish us with before we can officially onboard them to our platform. So we don't do the full range, right? Because we only take care of the asset custody and asset transfer and asset management part of the digital business. All right. In fact, even the area of KYT and KYC is not our focus, because our focus is on self-custody technology itself, and that alone, it's a difficult business, to do well, right? So we need to pour all our resources in making sure that we have a secure platform, to provide that flexibility. So with regards to KYT and KYC, right, we outsource to third party. So just now, for example, I mentioned that we integrate with a third party called Mistrack, right, which is by this provider called Slomis. So they're one of the very reputable providers in the market. And Chainalysis and elliptic are a very good example of market leaders in this space that provide good KYT and KYC. But even Chainalysis and elliptic doesn't do that full range of KYC and KYT. Yeah, so we focus on the KYC and AML that relates to asset transfer and asset management part of the business. And the other aspect of KYT and KYC would have to be done by the customer themselves. Hope that makes sense. Any further questions?
Okay, maybe we leave the other questions during the Q&A later.
Okay, thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you, Jack. Yeah, now we have our last speaker, and after this section, we will have a Q&A and panel discussion. And then before I introduce Tommy is, Billsing's managing director, also the same. So how many people know Billsing? Anybody know? Okay, we have. And then for people who don't know, just for your convenience, I also put the QR code here. You can just scan the QR code to know more. And also just one thing, right? Billsing is very nice. So you see the swags, T-shirt and canvas back there. So actually, Billsing just bring the gifts for everybody. So later, after the event, you can just take your swags later. Yeah. Without further ado, let's introduce Tommy to the stage, and then Tommy will share more. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, good night, everyone. I'm Tommy from Billsing, and today I'm going to introduce retail side. So Jack introduced the business side, so I want to introduce the retail side security. So I know that because today's most of you are interested in Web3 and crypto, so you maybe want to know how to buy the crypto safely and how to store them. So I will first do a review of the Web3 security incidents last year. So we do the analysis for every year's security incidents. And last year, the total losses for the crypto-related hacks were 2 billion. But it is already more than 50% drop from the 2022. Why? Because the whole crypto market shrink a lot. And also, hackers are tired to hack, and their DeFi, especially the DeFi protocols, don't have a lot of TVL, so hackers don't have enough target to hack. And here also Jack mentioned just now, so here are 4 attacks with losses more than 100 mil. So who are they? Jack didn't get into detail, so I can help you to understand those 4 projects. So the first one, the biggest one, was Mixin Network. From the name you can see is by a Chinese team. So Mixin Network is founded by a very famous guy called 𝐊𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿. So he's a very, very OG guy in Chinese crypto world. And people nearly forgot this blockchain until it got hacked. So why it got hacked? Because they use a cloud service provider. So which means, like you can imagine, they use AWS, but I don't know. They use some cloud providers, and their cloud got hacked. And the private key is stored on the cloud. And although they are multi-sig, but most of their multi-sig nodes are on the same cloud. So they got hacked, and the hacker stolen about 200 mil. But some people argue that maybe it's just hacked by itself because it's an old blockchain and stored a lot of assets on it, but people nearly forgot it. So they just want to pretend to be a hack that they can rock, but who knows? And the second one is finance. So DeFi is the most common target for hackers in the Web3 because it stored a lot of crypto assets. And it's a very common attack type is contract vulnerability, which is because DeFi is running on the smart contract. So smart contract has some logic, and the hackers use the vulnerability to attack it and withdraw a lot of money. And the third and fourth one are all related to Justin Sun because he bought 𝐊𝐞𝐲 last year. And Poloniex is Justin Sun's centralized exchange. It got hacked by private key compromise. It's very simple, right? You lost your private key. And also 𝐊𝐞𝐲 is 𝐊𝐵's blockchain. It's like BNB chain to Binance. So 𝐊𝐞𝐲 is 𝐊𝐵's blockchain. And also due to lost about 100 mil for private key compromise. So it's very interesting. All Justin Sun's assets are due to private key compromise. So they really need to improve their security. And for the attack types, so nearly 70% of the total major attacks are DeFi protocols and cost 400 mil losses. Why? Because DeFi protocols, for example, cross-bridge and also lending protocols, they store a lot of money, and the hackers are also very easy to find the vulnerabilities here. And besides that, centralized exchange is the second largest in the losses. Some famous instances like just now is Poloniex, and also others like some 𝐺𝐸𝐸𝐿. If you heard about that, if you're from Hong Kong, you may heard about 𝐺𝐸𝐸𝐿. But 𝐺𝐸𝐸𝐿 is not due to the attacks; it's by the scam. So which is all the people they want to withdraw, they cannot withdraw. And the Hong Kong police and Hong Kong SEC all issues a lawsuit for the 𝐺𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐿, and the case is still undergoing. And for the hacker side, so what kind of attack types they usually use? So from the Mixin networks cases, we found that Web3 attacks not really related to the Web3 vulnerabilities, but most of the attacks are related to the Web2 tactics. For example, database compromise, which is you store your private key or your node on centralized providers like centralized exchange or centralized database, and those service provider got attacked, your private key can got attacked. And also some is called supply chain attacks. What is that? Supply chain attack is like you use your mobile phone, and hackers hack your mobile phone, so they can control your mobile phone and withdraw your money. Some interesting case is that Vitalik, so Ethereum founders, his Twitter got hacked, and the hackers used his Twitter to post a phishing link, and people trust Vitalik, so a lot of people click that link and lost their money. But how can Vitalik's Twitter got hacked? Because when he was visiting Singapore during token 2049, he buy a local SIM card. I don't know if someone just targeting him, know him is Vitalik, so sell him a fake SIM card or that hacked SIM card, so they can control the mobile phone using the SIM card. So but I think it's only targeting for the famous people, so general people doesn't need to worry about it. But if you are the founder for some projects, you should be really careful to buy some new SIM card, buy a new mobile phone. Yeah, and also some other things like front-end attacks. So some hackers just attack the front end of the website. For example, if like Binance, they got hacked, and hackers can use Binance.com to publish a very similar Binance account. And when you log in using Binance, they got all your credentials, so they can get your login information and log into your Binance account and do the operations. This is also very popular in the DeFi things, like especially you go to Google and you search MetaMask, and you see the Google ads, and you click the ads advertisement, and you download the fake MetaMask, and you import your private key, and hacker know your private key, and then they will log into your real MetaMask and withdraw your money. And so we have a product called EgaleEye, so I will do a demo later. So we launched EgaleEye to help the retail investor to avoid the scam while finding the alpha. So when you trade cryptocurrencies, not like Bitcoins, like you can buy it on exchange because buy on the stock exchange because past the ETF, like especially you trade some meme coins or we so-called shit coins like PayPay or Dogecoin, you can only trade on crypto exchanges or some decentralized exchanges. So how should we find the new alpha? So we know that if you invest in Bitcoin, you cannot have like 10x return. Of course, not in this round. So you can only go to some small cap projects and find where is that. So people usually go to the Twitter or other Telegram communities, but there are a lot of scammers. So we provide the EgaleEye, so we help you to check the contract integrity and also review their securities. For example, if they have the potential to rug pull by doing the on-chain analysis. And besides that, after you buy, you don't know when to sell because it's not like Bitcoin you hold and you ultimately it will grow. But like a lot of meme coins will just go up and dump to zero. So it's very important to have a good timing to sell. And how we can support you. So we have 4 functions, and I won't spend too much time on it. So we can help you to find hot projects and also monitor your wallet address. So help you to check which coins you host. And also we can help you to do the project due diligence to check if the project you hold are safe. And besides that, we do the sentiment analysis. When people start to flooding, so which is to some panic sales, we will send you alerts and you can sell by otherwise. So how we come up with this idea? So here is our concept when designing the project. So first is like, this can be, we found this chart online. So this is how general public they want to invest in some project, they're thinking. So first is they know it's a hot project. Okay, so whether your friend tell you, oh, recently I buy this coin, and also maybe you follow some influencers on Twitter to say, this project is but you don't know if they have motivations, which kind of motivation they tell you. Like maybe they get the money from the project, so pay you $1,000 and post me a post like help me to share this project. It's very common. Or this project is just your friend is if working in the Web3, maybe this project is run by him. So he asks you to be his exit liquidity, right? So first you know this is project is okay. You get this information. So how you know is a good timing to buy or it's already too late? You just go from some like analysis tools, like including EgaleEye and also some 𝐊𝐞𝐲, 0x scope, something like that. Then you also want to know that if you want to buy this one, can I sell? Because some projects, especially a very early stage project, if you buy it, you cannot sell. Why? Because the project owner can blacklist your address. So which means you buy it, they blacklist you. And you hold this coin, but you can never sell. And fourth is about the relations. So for example, if projects, like for example, Pepe deployers, Pepe coin deployer, he deploy a new project, you want to know is this new project is run by the original team? Is this original team run few successful projects? You have more confidence to aping this project. And then you, after you buy it, and then you set a signal, set a good point to entry and good point to sell. And here is our front page. So we have an in-house team to go through all the Twitter and go out the alpha community every day. We update the information. Actually, we want to see it's by AI, but not. It's by real human. So we go all those communities and go to check what is popular projects recently. And we filter out the risky one and put the we think it's good potential one, but it's not financial wise because it's all risky because you cannot see it. Maybe Arbitrum you know, but others maybe not a lot of people know. So we use this method to help our community members to find the very potential projects, and also we list out the risk. So here is our interface. So we tell you in the left hand is a price and the liquidities, and also the recent whale tradings, and also we check their social media. So how many Twitter follows? There a large group recently, and how's the Telegram? You see this project, the online member dropped a lot. Maybe they bought a lot of fake members, and the fake member just got kicked out or something like that. And also GitHub, did they upload more code to their GitHub, which means are they working? Are they launching the new functions? Something like that. And besides that, we also tell you some whale tradings. So for example, those all whale tradings, and it is very important, especially for some small cap projects. If you see someone just buy a lot, the price will go up a lot. And besides that, it's most important for our company is that the security. So for example, Apollo X is a DEX on BNB chain. We use our internal database combining with AI to tell you what's the risk for these projects. And usually the project just some like has some blacklist function or has some they can modify the text. So which means that projects don't let you to sell, which they can rug pull. And besides that, this is also very interesting function is that the relationships. So you find Apollo X, this project, and you want to know what other whales, rich people or institutions are investing. So you see Apollo X investor also invests in Injective, in Axie Infinity, in Gala, or all those other projects. We call it same whale. So which means that, okay, these projects really are buying by some big players in the market. And besides that, we're also using the AI to track all the related signals, especially on Twitter and on the Google search engine to check, for example, if we search Pepe, we'll just use keywords to search on and filter out some irrelevant news and tweet and help you to get a more well-rounded information. Yeah, here is EgaleEye's Telegram communities. And next, I will go to our website. Yeah, here is our website. You can see we have Chinese version and English versions. So for example, I take a very famous Bitcoin ecosystem. So actually, you can see that this Bitcoin ecosystem called BitStable is on the BRC20s one. And for example, we tell that it's not audited by reputable auditors. So here, why? Because for some DeFi protocols or lending protocols, it's very important to the audit. If they don't audit, maybe there are some vulnerabilities the development didn't know, so hackers may attack it. And also that this like additional issuance function, what does that mean? So for example, if this project has 1 million tokens, the project can issue another 1 million token, and it will cost the current price drop by 50%. If in the traditional stock market, if you want to issue another shares, you need to report to the regulators, and then they need to approve it. And here we monitor the liquidity. So what is the liquidity means for the tokens, and especially for the DEX trading? So for example, this project has 1 million tokens. And here it only has about like 7.4%. So which means the total supply, there's only 7.46% of the total supply can be traded. And the remaining 90% tokens are locked, or they didn't issue. It's like stock market. The shareholders hold the most market. The shares that can be traded on the stock exchange is a very small amount of the total supply. And you can see also this, the LP contract. LP means liquidity providers. So which means you can buy BSSB using WETH or USDT. You can only trade this coin using two coins, WETH and USDT. Usually, most small cap tokens are only be traded by WETH. And besides that, it's our limitation. Like we cannot track the relation because it's a very new project. But for Twitter, we just followed. You can see that Twitter is going very good. The community is good. So I know I cannot only promote our project. So I really want to provide you some really useful information. So like for example, if you trade cryptocurrencies or trade cryptocurrency, I want to introduce two websites. But I think most of people already heard about CoinMarketCap. But DEX Screener, maybe not a lot of people heard about it. So for example, if you want to trade some coins, you go to CoinMarketCap. I think it's the biggest website to check the cryptocurrency price. But how you check the information? For example, Bitcoin, we don't need to go to that. For example, we just check I like PayPay, right? You just check PayPay. You see there are a lot of PayPay, but usually you just the first one is the most famous one, and it's very important to check when you trade coins. It's very important to check here. So here is called market cap, and here is called fully diluted market cap. So usually, most projects, these two data is similar, but some projects are not very similar. This is called Big Time. Big Time is a GameFi project. So you can see here the market cap is only 140 million, but fully diluted market cap is 2 billion. So why? Because only about 40%, only about 40% of the market cap of their supplies are able to trade it, and the remaining more than 80% is locked. Because, for example, there is a primary market like investors, so mostly VCs, so they have the lock-in period. So they need to lock their token for about 1 year or 2 years. So when they launch the token on exchange, they cannot sell it because they are locked in the vault. So they can only sell when it's unlocked. So it's called vesting. So you can see here, the circulating supply, so they calculate is only about 7%, 7% of total supplies. And besides that, you want to check what is a correct official Twitter. So you can go to here. It tells you, okay, this is big times official Twitters. And usually, now, after Elon Musk controls Twitter, it enforces the project to do the verification. So for example, the yellow ticks can show that it's the official one, which means it won't be the fake one. And besides that, you can also using the market. It's not a advertisement for CMC, but it's very important to know how to buy it. For example, you can see you can trade this coin on OKX, other like Coinbase, but like usually there won't be a big difference for larger cap, but for the most important thing is about the volume. So usually more than 1 million is considering a good volume. So which is called like can be regarded as a liquidity thing. So for example, if the trading volume is just 10,000, if you buy 1,000, you will already pump the price for 10%. So you don't want to make big difference to the market. So you will only go to the like exchange with a higher liquidity. And besides the centralized exchange, you can also click the DEX. Okay, so this coin is not available for decentralized exchange, but let's see. If we treat PayPay, so PayPay is a meme coin. It is mainly on DEX, for example, Uniswap. So how we find this one? How we find this one? You see this contract. We copy this one, and there's another information website called DEX Screener. So I really like it because if a coin or very early stage coins is not listed on any centralized exchange you heard about it, maybe like Coinbase or OKX or MEXC, you can only buy on decentralized exchange. So this is for finding information for decentralized exchange. So I copy this one. So contract means if a project want to deploy on the blockchain, they have a token contract. So just need this token contract, you can find the information. So this is a PayPay's contract, and this pair is a PayPay versus WETH. So WETH is similar to ETH, but on DEX trading, also on OpenSea trading, you need to have WETH to trade as your coin. You cannot use USDT to buy, you need to use WETH to buy. And then here is a very important parameter called liquidity, and this is called market cap. So you can see that the market cap is 500 million, but the liquidity is only about 3.5 million, which means that there's only a few PayPay can be traded because the project only provided those small amount of liquidities. And for example, we just take an extreme example. If a person just buy 3.5 million using a worse WETH to buy it, the price will pump by 100% because there's only small liquidities. And also, if you trade just check the 6 hours, 1 hour, 5 minutes, if you see there's a more red one than the blue than the green one, which means people are selling it, and you can see, okay, in the last hour, people are selling it. So just these are the very Degen guy using this. website, but I think it's very important to track. And also, yeah, we just take PayPay as example at last. I will just put here. You see, copy the contract, you check the PayPay, and we tell you. So actually, PayPay is a very mature project, but we still find a risk. So blacklist function is included, which is if you buy a token, and the deployer can disable you to sell. And actually, it just happened. A very big holder got blacklisted by the deployers, and he is very angry. So he launched another token called PayPay 2.0, and it went up a lot. Yeah, so it's very funny in the crypto world. So you can see that also monitor the overall liquidity. So you can see there's a lot of people issue the liquidity pools on Uniswap and PancakeSwap. And you can see the total liquidity just about 2%, which means there's only 2% of total supply can be traded. So if you check, this is already mature project, but if you find a project that's only about like 100,000 market cap and the liquidity is about 1%, you should be really cautious because the project owner can manipulate the price so easily. You don't need to spend a lot of money to buy it. And we found that people who buy engine coins and AAVE also buy PayPays. And also here are some pages and the audit report. So yeah, here are all my sharings. And if you are interested in trading meme coins, you can talk with me later. And thank you, imToken, for inviting me today. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, Tommy. Yeah, any question to Tommy? Any question here for Tommy?
No worry, I think maybe it's 2-digit information. Yeah.
Okay.
Does EgaleEye provide some early project on Twitter, like pre-launch?
Pre-launch?
Yeah.
What is that?
I mean, in Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, pre-launch.
You mean we track the Twitter?
Yeah.
Yeah. Here you can find that mostly we just get the information from Twitter.
Mm.
Yeah. So also we take the tag. So for example, what projects mentioned? So PayPay or Harry Potter, like DYDX thing, and you can read more. We drag the data from here, from the Twitter. Yeah. Okay. Also, if you want to check the Twitter, you can just we can also link you to the official Twitter. Yeah. So I think for if you want to trade a coin, you can use CoinMarketCap to find like larger market cap and smaller market cap one. You can use DEX Screener. And if you want to find some risk information and the relationship, you can use EgaleEye. So I think different product has different angles. And we're also providing the API for CMC for their contract risk. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Any other question here?
Can I ask, how does EgaleEye determine the top 10 tokens? Is it from the socials or from trading volume or?
Okay. Actually, we have an algorithm to do that. But as I mentioned, the algorithm sometimes doesn't work quite well. For example, if we just check the price go up, you can see all the coins. I don't know what the heck is this, right? So we need to use this price change and the liquidity change to get the primary list of the hot projects. And we filter out some small cap and also some human manipulate projects. For example, we saw that one holder hold more than 50% of the coins, so we know they are worth trading. They just do the market making thing. And besides that, we heavily, as I mentioned, we have an internal team. So, actually, here is our Twitter. So actually, we also have the here is our Twitter. So we also post articles about some in-depth analysis. For example, Recently, the Troy and the meme coin is very popular, so we write analysis on it. And also, we also write some in-depth analysis. For example, 𝐊𝐿𝐿𝐸. 𝐊𝐿𝐸 is Arbitrum Layer 3 GameFi, just launched on Binance. So we write an in-depth analysis for the project. And we have close relationship with the research team of famous exchange like MEXC, BitGet. If you don't know, they are all famous for meme coins. So we have an internal meeting with them weekly. So we ask them what you guys are looking for, and they tell us the list, and we do the research, and we come out with the ideas. So that's why how we find some promising projects. So we also have a WeChat official account. You can search on WeChat. We wrote articles about Celestia when the price only $2. We said it's really popular. You check the price is all to $20 now. Yeah. Yeah. So but DYOR, always DYOR. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Tommy, again. Let's invite Jack and Wilson and Tommy here, so we can have a little bit further discussion regarding to the safety and security. Give me 1 second. Maybe we just put Tommy's slides as a backdrop. Okay, let's see. Yeah. Yeah, and also feel free. I mean, since the three experts are here, feel free to ask any question regarding to the, the Web3 security and safety. Maybe like I think tonight you guys talk a lot of the safety and security already. Just from the no matter from the consumer or even from like industry kind of the participants' perspective, what are the safety and security factors you feel the people or users or consumer, no matter 2B or 2C, they should know, and why? Who want to answer this question first?
Never forget your private key, and never share it with any related like confidential information, or talk about your assets, and then the way how you protect your private key. Because it might be the moment you lose your secret. And then even if you are using like a hardware wallet, and then put it in a safe place, and then even if it's not connecting with network, you cannot imagine like how many like methods and they have, and even just with plug into your power, and then to get the raw data, and then even without network is still risky.
I like to think of this from three perspectives. First of all, crypto is not for everyone, right? Crypto is risky, and crypto it's all about why Satoshi Nakamoto came out of it, because it's a monetary system that's independent of the state, independent of government, and that you have full control over your private keys, right? But with greater ownership comes greater responsibility. So if you want to go to this space, which it's so risky, creates a degree of risk, then the user should also take personal responsibility in terms of the security hygiene and how they approach security management. And then the second thing is that, so if you choose to get into crypto and you want to go do digital assets, then obviously you need to have proper tools, to secure your assets, right? And just now, I think all three of us, we spoke about many scams out there, especially a lot of phishing scams. So there are options tools which you could use, right? Just exercise a bit of diligence, right? Use the tools to detect for any possible risky transactions. Like there's one very good open source tool called WalletGuard, right? Which you could use. Works as a browser extension. You can use, in case if you stumble across any, or you inadvertently interact with any phishing sites, then it could alert you. So due diligence is something that is important. And then the last thing is security mindsets is very crucial, right? So we will always say in security, don't trust, always verify. Even if your spouse say that, call you and tell you, hey, transfer some money to me, check first. Who knows if that's an AI deepfake, right? Turn on your bullshit detector in crypto.
Yeah, Tommy?
Yeah, as I work in security companies, but I think, especially from my perspective, if you look too heavy on security, you won't make money. Because most of the alpha projects have some risk. As I mentioned, even you check PayPay, it still have blacklist function. So what I suggest, you just use multiple wallets to trade different assets. For example, if you buy Bitcoins, I suggest you use hardware wallet or multi-signature wallet to store it. Just hold it, don't trade. And for example, you buy some larger market cap coins, for example, BNB, Solana, right? It's available on all exchanges. You can just open the exchange account and buy it, and if you don't trust central exchange, just withdraw it. So what happened to FTX is just mostly related to the institutional and the whale traders. They use leverage trading on FTX because it's a very good experience. So when FTX collapsed, they cannot withdraw money. But I think it won't affect a lot of retail investors because most of retail investors are using Binance and Coinbase, and they don't have some problem. Especially Binance is now strictly monitored by US SEC. So I think it can be safe, but it's not 100% safe. If you don't trust it, just buy it and withdraw to your hardware or multi-sig wallet. And besides that is for some trading meme coin, shit coins, you have a MetaMask and you store maybe just $1,000 and you use Uniswap to trade all these coins and get prepared, you lose all those monies. Maybe you just buy the coins and it's going zero, or you got rocked pulled by some projects, or you went some phishing website. So, but you still need to try. If you only buy Bitcoin, you won't get 10x return. Right. And the fourth one, but I don't think it's suitable for everyone. It's called airdrop farming. Like, like recently a lot of layer 1, layer 2 projects, GameFi projects are launching their tokens. And before launching tokens, there's still a way to interact with the projects, which is mean airdrop farming. You just, for example, they just ask you to do some similar interaction. For example, the Manta network, they just launched the token today. They ask you to store Ethereum to their platform, and you can get airdrop Manta token. So, and also, if you don't have the Ethereum, you have the capital, you just follow some projects event, for example, Barra chain, you just launch the testnet. What is testnet? Testnet is that it's not live, it's just, as you can see, it's for test. So you can get the test token on its website, and it's free. You don't need to spend anything. You just get the test token, and then you follow their guide. For example, they ask you to do a trade, which is a fake trade on their test net. And then in the future, maybe they will give you the real token because of the interactions. Why do those projects want to do the airdrop farming? Because they want the interaction, they want the active user, DAU, they want the user base. And then their investors say, oh, you get the real users. But we all know that they are all airdrop farmers. And but people will buy the story unless comparing with a blockchain that with 0 users, right? So I suggest you use another wallet for those airdrop farmings, and you get ready to lose all your money because all new project has a very, very high risk. But if you don't participate, you won't get super rich. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Tommy, from the professional suggestion. So that is more from like an individual perspective. Then from institution perspective, do you guys think like they are looking at a different set of the factors, or still the same?
Yeah, definitely different. Yeah, institutions and retail's requirements, risk profile are very different, right? So two main things, when we speak to institutions, whether it's exchanges or funds or asset managers, right? So first of all is security, right? And it's not just about security of asset transfer, but it's also about ensuring that there's good governance, there's always check and balances, right? So early on in my talk, we spoke about having flexible policies, having approval management workflows, so that no single party can unilaterally transfer, do transactions, right, without any supervisory oversight. So again, in traditional TradFi world, there will always be some form of check and balance. So it's no different from digital asset management. Check and balance and a good governance is important. And the other aspect would be from compliance, right? So compliance, I also spoke about making sure that, when you have transaction work inflows or outflows, it's important to have them screened, particularly if you come from your license, right? Then you would have, the MAS would look into such activity, especially if you come into contact with transaction that's associated with money laundering, right? So in the past, we have providers that get into a bit of hassles because, their transaction workflows has, interacted with wallets that are associated with money laundering, washing out the dirty money. So that's something that important, and these are things that, as a service provider to institutions, we have to make sure that these concerns are well addressed within the infrastructure that we provide.
Tommy, anything to add?
Yes, actually, Billson also provides the AML, anti-money laundering service, and also KYT, know your transactions. So why is it very important? For example, actually in Singapore, you won't meet this problem, but in China, you want to buy some USDT using RMB, you need to find the OTC service provider over the counter, right? Usually you go to Binance and OKX, there's a OTC marketplace, and there are a lot of people quote the price, and like maybe you buy 10,000 RMB, what's the price what is the token like USDT you can get, and for those things like usually if it's verified by the platform, it's okay. But for example, if someone, a really new one, to give you a very preferred quotation, you should consider, because maybe it's a dirty USDT. So cryptocurrency markets, over cryptocurrency market, currently the total value is just 1.6 trillion. And comparing the gambling and scam market, so scam market is for the Myanmar things, all the people get the scam calls. A lot of those money are laundered by cryptocurrency, also online casino, especially for Philippines, for Cambodia, those online casinos. They use TRC20, which is Tron network, to laundering the money, and they use a cross-chain bridge to buy, maybe cross to BNB chain and other like Bitcoin network, and then they buy very complex on-chain behaviors. They withdraw, they go to fund you, you have a very clean money, they transfer you the dirty USDT, and they get the clean RMB or the clean Singapore dollar, and they just cash out, and you will get problems. So maybe for a simple one, just exchange, maybe Binance fund you, so you get suspicious transactions, you got suspicious cryptocurrencies, we need to frozen your account. Then you need to provide them information you are innocent. Maybe then, okay, they will frozen you. But if the policeman find you, then will be a big problem. You are getting involved with money laundering. So it will have legal issues. So that's why it's very important to the AML. So for the retail one, you can just when they, for example, they send you the cryptocurrency, you just ask them to send you just $1 first, and you know their address, and you check on some AML platform like Billson, EgaleEye, and also other like ellipses, chain analysis. They will tell you is a suspicious one or not. And for example, and for exchange side, if they receive money, because if you, for example, if your friend want to buy like 1,000 USDT using Sing dollar, you just give them your deposit address, right? They just deposit USDT, and the exchange will help you to do the checking. If this money is dirty, they will frozen right away. Yeah. So Binance is caught by U.S. Government. It's not SEC, it's Department of Justice, DOJ. So by this issue, because they receive money from Iran, and so it's sanctioned by U.S. And it will cost them a lot of money. Yeah, and say they also be sanctioned, and still in U.S. cannot get back to UAE. So all the DeFi and the centralized exchange should be aware of this issue. Yeah.
Okay. Some particular hacks, because I think as crypto, you guys said it's not for everybody, but since like the project or like different products should have quite good standard. For example, let's talk about like 2 particular hacks. For example, cold wallet hacks. Supposedly cold wallet should be very safe, but why the hack still happens and how that is possible?
Yeah, I think like first why a lot of people are using hardware wallet or cold wallet. There are 2 points is like make it stand out on security. One is without network. So usually a lot of phishing or security issue happening is because like it's connected with network. So hardware wallet and cold wallet without network. And the second thing is usually you need to use your biometric verification or your PIN, and then with the specific devices bring with you. So that is the 2 like point to make it security standing out. But it's still possible to be hacked is because first you might lose your device, and you need to back up your private key. Then you might lose your seed phrases. So even if you are holding your hardware wallet, then the assets might already been transferred. And even if you're holding your device and then someone hack it by like getting the raw data from the power interface, and then it's still possible to get it hacked. So yeah, so even if it's secure enough already, but yeah, you need to be careful about like your device, your seed phrases, and then like don't let anyone touch it and put it in a safe place. Yeah, I think like later we can talk about more about like how when we are doing the connections, yeah, how we gonna make it secure. Yeah.
If I could just add on. So I'm not sure if anybody have used before Ledger. Yeah, so yeah, I'm a Ledger user as well. So traditionally, it's actually cold wallets. They do have the highest form of security because the private keys are kept offline, right? But in I think last month, right, Ledger was they were exploited because they have this open source Connect Kit library whereby decentralized apps would use it to easily allow Ledger users to connect to their platform, right? So their open source library was hacked, right? And for those dApps, right, or decentralized apps that use the compromised library, right, basically for users that then connect with their front end, right, they could actually have their wallets being drained. So, so there was a supply chain attack for users to connect to the dApps. So that actually brings some very important lessons that we cannot take security for granted. Anything can happen. And then the other thing also is that when you buy cold wallets, right, hardware wallets, always make sure that you buy from the official site. So buy it from, say, the official Ledger wallet, or buy it from imToken wallet, from the address, right? Because there could be phishing sites whereby you buy through unofficial sources, and actually that's a tempered cold wallet, right? And then there's a malware in there that could drain your wallet. So it always pays to be vigilant, and don't save small money, right? Get the proper tools, get from the official source, and keep your funds safe.
Yeah, anything to add, Tommy, from the security company perspective?
Actually, even Uniswap got some security issues before. They have signature issues. If you approve some functions, it has some risk. And also, KyberSwap is also a famous DEX. It got hacked later last year. So my suggestion is just a diversification of your assets. For example, as I mentioned, like Bitcoin, you store in one wallet, and some Solana or Ethereum you want to use frequently, you just store in another wallet. And for your frequent trading wallet, just you buy the coins. If you don't just like buy this today and sell tomorrow, if you want to hold for like 1 year, you just buy it and transfer to your vault. So I called it vault wallet, which is can be a multi-signature wallet, and transfer to that, and you use this trading wallet to trade coins every day. And besides to make, I don't think hardware wallet is the most secure one. I think using hardware wallet and hot wallet to combine a multi-signature wallet is the most secure one. So it won't be, also you can give your mother, your father, another wallet, another private key to do the social recovery, which is, for example, like let's say this multi-signature wallet is 4 signatures, right? And you need to get about at least 3 signatures to approve the transactions. You can just give your father, mother like one hardware wallet. They don't need to know how to use that. They just help you to keep that. In case you lost one of the your wallet, one of your wallet got hacked, you can still use the remaining 3 you can ask your father, okay, help me to recover, right? So I think this is the most secure one. Or you use centralized exchange, but centralized exchange has a risk. One risk is just bankrupt, like FTX. Another is like MEXC. There are some rumors like if you are Chinese users, because they don't serve Chinese, but they don't need KYC, right? They just frozen your account because you don't follow their KYC rule. So there's a risk. So I think usually just use central exchange to buy the coins, use your trading wallet account to buy the coins, and store to your wallet wallet. So I think this is the most secure one. And for your trading account, I suggest you to change every half year, because maybe there's some potential risks, but you don't know. At least someday you buy a shitcoin and 100x, and you got 1 million tokens, $1 million worth in your wallet. Hackers will start to rock your wallet. I think the hackers have more patience now. They don't rock $1,000 now. They will wait for you to become richer and they rock you. Yeah. So I think better to change your wallet from time to time. Yeah.
Yeah, Tommy, earlier you talked about like the Uniswap. So they also have been hacked. So maybe can you share us a little bit of reason why, as a decentralized exchange, they have all the different audit has been done, but why still can be hacked?
Yeah, so Uniswap one is a permit to vulnerability. So it's a signature. You just permit so for example, you want to trade some, but it's very complex. You want to trade some. You need to first give the permission for the Uniswap to help you to use the remaining balance. For example, Ethereum, use your remaining balance to swap to another coins, and sometimes there's a contract, there's vulnerabilities and can withdraw all your coins. Not just you do the transaction, you approve. Just without you don't interact with Uniswap, it can still do the transaction for you. Like a Kyber swap. A Kyber swap is just they got hacked and their liquidity pools got rocked. But I think it's mainly related to the professional traders who provide the liquidity for the DEX. Because like you trade on DEX, it's like, for example, Pepe versus WETH coins. Jack is a liquidity provider, so Jack injected 1 million worth Pepe and 1 million worth WETH to make a 2 million large liquidity pools. And the people can, and then I come here and I give you 1 million WETH, and you give me equal price Pepe coins. Then the liquidity pools got imbalanced, and then the WETH gets lesser WETH and more Pepe coin, and Pepe coin, lesser Pepe coin and more WETH. So the Pepe coin price got up. So it's very complex financial and mathematics design. But the point is, liquid DEX is very different from centralized exchange. For centralized exchange, I also talked with my friend from MXC and Binance. It's all about order book. So you just issue, for example, I want to buy 10 Bitcoins, and another guy want to sell 9 Bitcoins. And there's in pair, the market maker will just come and you buy from another 1 Bitcoin. So he get 10 Bitcoins and then can do the swap with you. So it's very important to have market maker in the centralized exchange because there's no, if there's less liquidity, they need to match the order book and do the swap, and they make the money by removing the gap. So in the decentralized exchange, there's a MEV bot, maximum extraction. So it's another very complex terms, but all this happens, and as long as there's trading, there will be risk. So decentralized exchange also has a risk. So that's why I suggest change your wallet frequently. Yeah.
Anything to add, Jack?
Yeah, 𝐊𝐤𝐿 was very unfortunate, because I have a very, very close friend who works in 𝐊𝐤𝐿, and he has to be laid off because of the attack, right? And the 𝐊𝐤𝐿 attack was a very, very highly complex attack. So the attacker obviously had very, very strong technical know-how to be able to compromise their code base, right? So this drive home, the point that even audits are not sufficient, and even 𝐊𝐤𝐿, which is better tested, that they have been through the test of time, right, can still be hacked. So I think that just goes to show that, in security, right, the threat landscape can evolve very rapidly, right? Doesn't mean, a protocol that has been audited like a year ago or 2 years ago means that it's safe, right? Because the threat actors, they evolve as well, right? And there may be new loopholes that was not previously discovered that could then be exploited. So I think that it's important to proactively, for protocols perspective, to very proactively continue the audit, right? Have more auditors come in at different points of time, right? Maybe even utilize a bugs bounty platform like, my friend Neil, he runs hey Neil, show people your face. Yeah, he runs a bugs bounty platform, all right, and then they have about, I think, a few hundreds white hackers that will look at your platform, so that you have more people that can pen test, run pen test, red team against your website, and that any vulnerability, when found, it can be addressed, right? I think the key point is that to proactively ensure that you fortify your code base and that never take security for granted.
Okay, thank you, Jack. Maybe another question to Wilson to continue the things raised by the Tommy. Just now, Tommy gave the best standard how to for users, right? The best standard for the security to use the wallet. But you earlier also present like a so-called like a wallet to connect with the keystone.
Yeah.
It seems like using another kind of a standard. Maybe can you share a little bit more how this will impact users' safety and security?
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, technically, it's based on EIP 4527 protocol. It's kind of like a transit information about the transaction, and then make sure your code wallet or hardware wallet, even without a network, and you can continue to connect with the software wallet or plug-in wallet, and then to enjoy the services and explore different dApps over there. So the security of this QR code is not like a static QR code. It's like a continuously refreshing QR code. So you cannot do it like a screenshot. Yeah, it's a dynamic QR code. So you cannot like take a screenshot. And at the same time, most importantly, is we are like offering these services is for people who are using hardware wallet, and that means the device itself, is already it's kind of like without network, it's like reduce the risk already. And then the QR code is only transit public address, never touch your private key. And then, so I think this whole process is like comparing with USB or other connection is like it still expose your device with the network or with the connection with other devices. So I think this is like the basis of this protocol and provide the higher level of security. But of course, you can still use a hot wallet to connect with another hot wallet. It doesn't mean you have to use it for a hardware wallet. But that for sure is going to be higher security issue over there. Yeah. And the same time for the signature part, based on this protocol, and then the signature part will bring more information about what kind of transaction it is, and then which party you are authorizing your wallet access to. So it with more transparent information over there for the customer to make a correct decision. Yeah.
Anyway, just a quick add-on. I think the term that you're wanting to use just now was that the wallet is, if you use QR code, is completely air-gap. I think that was the term you wanted to use just now, right?
You mean the
air-gap.
yeah, air-gap. Air-gap is a code wallet. Yeah.
Okay, at last, maybe like three gentlemen, do you have maybe one sentence or just one thing you want to share with the audience today as a key takeaway regarding to the, the Web3 security and safety? Who is ready to share? Who wants to start first?
Okay, just one sentence. Yeah, don't trust, always verify.
Yeah, my advice is the early stage of the bull market. So don't be too cautious. You should try everything, and be diversified for your asset allocation, and and always remember to switch to new wallet to avoid risk you don't know.
I think suggest to explore, discover, and then because this might be the future, and then you need to know it and you need to be part of it. Just to use a small amount of your assets to explore, and learn from the mistakes, and even learn from the loss of funds. And that process is for you to know, and then to be better, and then you might be part of the creator of the future of this industry. Yeah, be cautious, but don't be afraid of Web3. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Any question from the room in the last of the chance to ask the question to the speakers? Okay.
Sorry, because recently there's a lot of controversy about the mass market hardware wallet, which is Ledger, and I think imToken has their own hardware wallet. TimeKey, sorry. In which way is it better than a Ledger, and how does it compare? Because since Ledger has so many controversies, a lot of people are looking for options, like they're looking at Trezor.
Trezor, that's right.
Yeah, Trezor, and there's the one with the card. I forgot what it's called.
And 1K.
That one with the big system.
Engrave?
With a physical card, with the private key inside the card.
Wallet?
Yeah, cold wallet.
There are so many out there.
Which one you are using?
I'm still using Ledger.
Still using Ledger.
But I think you take Thomas' advice and just use it as a board to send and receive, then other wallets for trading.
Yeah, I think
Well, I personally use Ledger as well. All right, and then there was of course some controversy about Ledger recently, previously last year about if you update the what is it? You patch, all right, and then they're offering a service whereby they allow for third-party backups of your private keys, right? But not everybody they're comfortable with that, right? Because the whole idea about using cold wallet is that to make sure that your private keys does not ever leave your wallets. But Ledger has a reason for it because most Web2 users, most traditional users, they are not familiar with the concept of backing up recovery phrases, right? So if they were to lose the recovery phrase or they did not record it down properly, right, as we expect, actually, considerable amount of users would actually forget the recovery phrase, then, there's at least a backup option, all right? But most people are not comfortable with it. Like for me, I'm not comfortable with it, so I don't patch. I don't patch that because I want to make sure that my private keys would always be offline. Okay, but there are different approaches. That doesn't mean Ledger is wrong. The compromise library was very unfortunate because they open source it. We are big believers of open source codes, right? Because when we rely on the community, we believe there's more people looking at it. The chances of the good actors finding vulnerability and through responsible disclosure, you can actually be stronger in your security. But in this case, right, the bad actors found it first. But to Ledger's credit, they patch it quickly, right, and then they minimize the loss. And I think that they're going to make some of the affected users whole again. But having said that, Ledger has been around the market. It's a good provider. But what I will say is that always update yourself of new security knowledge. Like I think imToken has a very good product, right? Because through their Agate wallet, QR code, you can do signing without the hardware wallet ever being online. So that's a great method, right? That's a good method. There's some other providers that does it, like Engrave, but I think what imToken provides a great alternative to users that are seeking choices. But just know that hardware wallet alone doesn't mean that you are completely free of any potential attacks. You can just look at the incident that happened yesterday. The chain aggregator, Bungie, was hacked. Or was it hacked? Because the users interacted with the chain. They provided permissions, tokens approval to the chain. And through that, right, the attacker was able to drain some of the wallets. Right? So actually security hygiene also comes into play. If you interact with dApps, it's always important to regularly review your tokens approval and token permissions, and then having to revoke permissions from time to time, it's very important. So having the right hardware wallet is one thing, but it's a lot of good security hygiene, good security practices that comes into play. Like what Tommy mentioned, diversify your wallets, and some of the measures like this will help to keep your assets safe.
Because I'm from marketing, right? So people normally don't believe marketing is a statement. But what I can say is if I'm from marketing, right, it's a kind of like journey. So I think one thing, actually I came from the Web 2 background to Web 3. So I think one thing in Web 3 quite good is actually we don't really say, okay, let's do a comparison, right? Just like Web 2 world. So you have a lot of Android devices. So let's just put a spec sheet there and compare like A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So here I think the industry is still compared with the current, the commercial world, it's still in the infant stage. So basically, I think it's a journey for not only for the brand, but also for the user. Like Jack mentioned, it's also depending on how much knowledge the user have, how comfortable they are for the different kind of choices. We don't say like which one is the best, but maybe the suitable one for them. Current knowledge and journey is the best one. Of course, like from marketing, is like imToken is the best. So you guys should trust me. So just try. Okay. Yeah. Any other question from the room?
Thanks, Long. Thanks, Wilson. Thanks, Jack. Thanks, Tommy. A good speech. My name is Jackie. My question is 5 APA. In 2023, big chance is the BRC20. Which you think that's the next big chance in 2024? Thank you.
Yeah, you see my profile is a Bitcoin fraud. I bought a really cheap price. So we started to do the research for BRC20 last May. So nearly the first batch of the BRC20s, and fund atomical, fund STEM, CSRC. So we're very early in the BRC20 scene. So I think if you want me to pick up 3 trends, first one is the Bitcoin ecosystem, because April is Bitcoin halving, and Bitcoin ETF already passed. And the people, especially, I know most BRC ordinal things are Chinese communities, but we also have some friends in US. They doing the ordinals, but more for NFT side, artists, and also for layer 2, Lightning Network and Stacks, Bitcoin layer 2s. So they are developing, but people didn't notice that the Stacks protocols and Lightning Network yet. And second one is AI, because I think AI is for all the human train, also for stock markets, because it will change the world. And blockchain can help AI to solve the data privacy problem, and also the decentralized computing, so which is DePIN, decentralized physical infrastructure network. DePIN is a very hot topic recently. And we nearly forgot that there will be a ChatGPT 5, but it will happen this year. So after Sam Altman introduced ChatGPT 5, you will see all the AI coins skyrocketing. Also, NVIDIA's price go to all-time high. Yeah, and the third one is GameFi, because I think GameFi will be the gateway for mass adoption, but not the traditional play-to-earn type, because it's so Ponzi. And we are in South Asia, right? South Asia has a lot of developing countries and a lot of people on the property. They need to find a way to earn money, and maybe a new type of play to earn, I don't know, will be emerged, but I didn't see a clear leadership in this market, this track. So I think Bitcoin ecosystem, AI and GameFi will be trained, not for financial advice. Yes.
I'm not an investment expert, so I'll pass on these questions.
No, okay. So it's like you just asked a very difficult question for the speakers. Okay, anybody has the last one? So.
So basically, you mentioned the educational side, and I'm just asking, like, as an ordinary user, what are some best educational resources that you can find on the internet about the security side? I know a lot of people are talking about like the blockchain dark forest self-guard handbook by 𝐊𝐞𝐲. Like besides those, like are there any good educational website, maybe bloggers, KOLs, or just good educational contents?
Actually, you name a very good resource, right? The Dark Forest handbook is really great. Yeah, by the 𝐊𝐞𝐲 team, who happens to be our very close partner as well. I would strongly recommend anybody who wants to know more about Web3 security, especially for individual retail users, right? To find out more about the different security tools, right? The security mindset, right? What are the best practices in terms of security hygiene. I think the Dark Forest handbook covers it very well. Yeah, in fact, that was actually my entry into the company, me joining this company, because I was from physical security for 10 years. Many of the concepts in physical security is actually directly relevant, directly complementary to Web3 security, and through the Dark Forest handbook, I got to know about Safeheron, and from there I joined Safeheron. Yeah, and other than that, I think BioSyn has very good educational resources as well. And give a plug out to BioSyn, who's also one of the partners that we work with, right? And they have a lot of other providers like Certic, right? Trail of Bits, even Chainalysis and elliptic. They have security blogs that are very, very helpful. Right? They're very helpful, and it gives a lot of security tips. Yep, you can check them out. Sorry? But you Certic part of?
Okay, Thank you so much for all the questions, and thank you so much for all the participation for the meetup. I saw the YouTube previously is 1,800 people, but now it dropped to like 244 people. Maybe people feel tiring, but don't worry. This is come to the end of the meetup. Thank you so much to join with us online as well, and for the people in the room. And then we have a last kind of request to you, if you can just do us a little bit favor to give us a little bit feedback regarding to the meetup kind of the feedback, what kind of topic and what kind of the, for example, speaker you want us to invite, and feel free to let us know. And in the end, don't forget to bring the swags brought by the building and also prepared by the imToken. Yeah, of course, like don't forget, Jack mentioned they have a free trial for 14 days. So
yeah, any institutions here, feel free to let me know. I can always set something up for you.
Yeah, thank you so much, all speakers. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
joining us in imToken office. Thank you.